So for Project Pepto, I bought some seats just a little while ago, DC5 Recaro seats, looking really nice, and now I bought them with the risk and knowing that they might not fit, but I have a grinder and I have a welder, so they're gonna fit.
This is Frankie McDowell. Here's my update for Hurricane Dorian. It's now headed towards Florida on Sunday, September 1st, 2019. It's now going to bring up to 30+ millimeters of rain.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. Right now, at the time of this video going live, I'm actually in Chicago. I'm over there doing my thing. That was planned a long time ago. This hurricane is coming probably in the next day or two, and I know for sure my flight on the way back, I was supposed to fly back home Monday. I know for sure that's getting canceled. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I do know I'm going to be in Chicago enjoying myself while Florida, Orlando, Central Florida, all of Florida is probably getting pummeled by a storm, and I actually wish I was going to be here for it because the storm is the fun part. It's the aftermath that sucks. So I'm going to be coming home to the sucky aftermath. Might not have power, don't really know. Hopefully this shop holds up. Hopefully everything is good. And no more hurricane talk. Let's go ahead and talk about what I got to do in this video and what I got to do to make these DC5 seats fit in the Integra Project Pepto. So right here we're looking at the bottom of the DC5 seats, and I have the rails stripped 100% out of them. So I'm going to be utilizing these holes. This one there, 2, 3, 4, those 4 holes. And also it's really important to me that I do all of my modifications for this car, but you can always revert back to the factory rails that came with these seats. I don't want to modify anything to the extent that I'm not going to be able to, like I said, go back to the original rails. So not messing up these holes, that's what the original rails mount into. So if at any point I wanted to go back to the original rails, let's say I wanted to sell them, I can sell them on Integra rails, or I can sell them with the DC5 or RSX rails. So either way, as I'm making something, even if I'm going to be doing something custom for myself, I don't want to ruin it for anybody in the near future that may purchase these seats if I do decide, or when I do decide to get rid of them. So the way that I'm going to go about doing this, the problem is this width from there to there is a lot more narrow than the width from there to there. And these right here, that rail and that rail, those are just the 100% stripped down Integra rails. So the idea is to have the Integra rails fit on the RSX seat. Even though it's DC5, it's Integra in Japan. But for the video's sake, for me talking throughout this whole video, I'm just gonna say DC5 seat, that's an RSX seat, and then Integra seat rail is just from the DC2. So Integra, DC2, RSX, DC5. So the first thing I gotta do is I gotta make some measurements, and I just bought this rod. I got a bunch of this. That's gonna be nice and thick, so I wanna run some rod or run some of that bar across here, and then we'll go from there after I get those cut out. After a little cutting, little grinding, little welding, let me give you a rundown of what exactly I did. So you can see this is the bottom of the seat. Obviously that's what we're working on. So then I did these 2 parallel ones, this one and then this one. And then now where this bolt head is right there would crash with the rails right there. It hit about there and there on all 4 corners. Now I would have liked to just use this to bolt it straight to the seat, but the bolts actually sit right on the very edge of those, so that wasn't actually an option. So the way that I made up for that is I put these tabs on here. This tab 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these tabs are going to actually be welded to the rails that are inside of the car. Let me go ahead and take this off the seat. Okay, hold on. Before I do that, and also this middle bar that I added, the main reason why I did this was to make sure that every single thing stayed square. You know what I mean? So that this bolt and that bolt don't get out of whack. This is just gonna tie everything together, and it might add a little bit of strength too. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this pulled off, and then I'll get that put in the car, so that way you can see exactly how it's gonna work out. So with this sitting right there, hopefully that kind of can give you an idea of how it's gonna fit. 1, 2, these 4 holes, these are gonna bolt to the seat, and then this is going to actually be welded to there, so that way it's just gonna be one unit. So if you wanna take it off the seat and put the original DC5 rails back on, you'll do these bolts, those 4 from underneath the actual seat. If you just want to remove it from the car, it's the original regular old Integra bolts, just like it would be on a stock Integra. So now the next thing that I want to do, I actually put the bracket on the bottom of the seat. I sat the seat in there. I kind of shimmied it how I wanted it to be, making sure the seat rails are center, so that way I have enough room to go forward and I have enough room to go backwards as it would be from a stock rail. Also, each rail left to right is in the same exact position. I just counted the number of ticks back and made sure that they're all the same. And now everything is looking good. The next thing that I gotta do, I just gotta go ahead and get that tacked up, and then I'll be able to take that out as one unit, or I'll actually be able to show you how all the slide functions work and everything along those lines before we bolt them on the seat for one final time. What I did is I ended up tacking it inside of the car, because I know everything's gonna stay straight, square, true, whatever you want to say, inside of the car as it's bolted in. So I just wanted to tack it up, and then as soon as it was tacked pretty nicely, I went ahead and I took it out of the car and then welded it together completely on the table. And then at the end of that last clip, Zosh actually came, he picked up his car, and we were talking for a little while, and that's just how it goes. So it has been a little while, and then my camera was dead, blah 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 blah. So what I have done since my camera's been charging, if you can see right here, that's just the bracket all welded up all together. Now all I did is I just threw some rattle can spray paint on it. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't need to look good. As long as it's protected, that fresh weld, all that fresh metal. Cow over there. Anyways, getting distracted. So as long as that looks good, that's good. That's just fine. So the next thing I gotta do, I gotta go ahead and get this bolted onto the bottom of the seat, and then I just got to get it thrown in the car. And another thing that I was thinking about is I got to get seat belts figured out, because these brackets don't have them anymore, but I'll do that another time. So here it is in the completed state now. One thing, all day I'm filming, I'm not talking, and then as soon as I start filming the thing. Anyways, so this is what we're looking at with the completed state. As you can see, the tens that it goes into right there and there. And then again, the reason why I put this is so that way it would all stay true when I did it on the brackets. Now the brackets are in there. I tacked them together as it was on the car. So now in theory, it's gonna go back together perfectly fine. And this one I already have in the car. So this I did the same exact thing. And then if you can see, working just like it should. Everything is just fine. It looks good. I think it's not sitting too high. It's definitely sitting a little bit higher than what I would have liked, but it doesn't look awkward or anything. I mean, it looks completely fine. I am definitely happy with that. Coming into today, before I started working on these brackets, and I had the old brackets over here that are completely different. They have like this style on it. Anyways, coming into today, I had no idea how I was going to be able to successfully pull this off. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I got a welder, I got a grinder, I bought some metal, and we made it happen. So it is looking really good. Now the only thing left to do in this video is I got to put the other one back in. And I hope when I get back from Chicago, everything's still in one piece. Oh man, the car felt faster just pulling it out right there. And the sun right now is at the perfect position to flex. Looking good. If I can get my shadow out of there. So at first I was a little indecisive. I didn't know if going DC5 over DC2 or CTR, meaning the Integra of this generation, not the RSX generation Integra type R seats. I didn't know if I wanted to go with them, but after seeing them in there, they look good, man. I'm definitely happy with them. And like I said in my last video, the fact that I had to put a whole bunch of sweat into these to make them work, that actually makes me appreciate them so much more. If I were to just buy seats, slap them in there, I wouldn't really care about it too much. Now another thing, I don't know how long you guys have been following along with Project Pepto, but a couple months ago I started working on this rear seat delete, and then I just stopped working on it because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I did know I wanted the rear seat delete to match the front seats, and without having front seats, I didn't know what to do for the rear seat delete. So now the rear seat delete is going to, you'll just have to see. That's probably what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to have to order some stuff, and really, I don't know when I'm going to get back to Orlando. Now the latest update I heard is it could be storming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My flight coming back Monday. Just forget about it. So we'll just have to see. If you guys are curious, interested, or care at all whatsoever, I'll be posting updates on IG for sure, as I'm in Chicago, and my IG is just at Bodyvision, the exact same way that you spell my YouTube channel. So if you don't hear from me in a little while, I don't know, the storm got us. So I guess that's gonna be it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If there's no video for a long time, you know what happened. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I just said, like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. Hopefully I will see you soon. You know what it is. I'm out.